Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have Kappn and Complexity's goswser, another PVZ, sort of the name of the game, heading into the loser bracket finals. This is going to determine two things. First of all, who is going to face against Sasquatch in the grand finals, and also who is going to represent Southeast alongside Sasquatch in the entire full, I don't want to say national because it's kind of international, in the continental event, in the culmination event.
Yeah, that's really what's coming down to. And we could very well see another goswser Sasquatch match. Like we did in was it round 2? Where Sasquatch knocked goswser down into the lower bracket, and goswser fought his way all the way here.
But no extended series. No fancy, confusing. Why? Okay, so we're starting off 2-0, but if there's a first, but then if so and so wins, silly MLG. We are on Daybreak. This is in the top right corner, the green Protoss player Kappn. His opponent in the bottom left is going to be Complexity's goswser. You've been following him and enjoying his play. Very solid man. He loves his Roach Infestor in ZVZ. But in ZVP, we haven't seen him. You know, we've only seen him for the one matchup. We're going to have to see just how he does.
Yeah, we did see him play Future. It was saw him deflect the early double Stargate pressure very nicely. Just kind of crush in with Roach Infestor.
Mm-hmm.
So see if that's his preferred style in ZVP, or see where he goes in this game.
Well, I certainly think that Zergling Baneling, with Zerglings with a few Banelings and some Infestors. Oh, good surround on that probe. Oh, wow, that was like 4 drones snapped, surrounded him, and with the 5th, just turned around and were just like.
Yeah, but now there's going to be no delay on the natural or the 3rd hatchery. Kappn just drops his forge and stays home with his probe.
Yes, he's like, nope, not going to be doing this.
All right, a big thank you to our sponsors now, Kingston, HyperX, and Antec, for helping us put on this tournament. We were talking a lot about HTW being kind of one of the main points for this tournament, but Kappn is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of those lesser-known players.
He's not one of, he's not severely defined, and he doesn't have a team or anything.
So it's very good to see both of the, both players like that getting some good exposure in this. HTW, unfortunately, not able to triumph over goswser in the loser semis, but still a great tournament run nonetheless.
We do see that second hatch finishing up just in time. It's always a good feeling when your spawning pool finishes, just like with your second hatch, and you've got 300 minerals, and you're like, oh look, perfect timing, Queen.
goswser not electing to get the 3rd base just yet. What is he going to go for instead? Or is he banking for his 3rd right now? Yeah, it looks that way.
Yep. It is a little interesting that he's waited so long to get it, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, still no gas. The drone just now making its way out. And the probe is going to catch it. Is he going to be there to block?
No, surely won't be there in time. He's got more than enough minerals. He can drop it right away. Unless he's not... Oh, I was going to say. Unless he's not actually dropping it immediately if he's not watching.
Yeah. That was a near miss there.
Now, is it just me, or is this a little bit of a late cybercore? I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling that it's a little off. We do have the probe way up into the northern end here. I think we're going to finally see that 4-gate harass that I love, that I've been talking about. She's going to slip into the back, drop a
Cyberbird's at a pretty standard timing. The +1 was a little bit late.
Okay, maybe I'm just expecting things to be picking up a little bit. And I love, oh man, these 2 Zerglings moving up. Moving up.
goswser with his game sense.
Mm-hmm. Very good picking.
He knows exactly where probes and pylons are going to be on this map. No doubt tons of practice, especially in the Complexity Academy and with his teammates at Complexity.
Yep. And taking out that forward pylon, preventing that early harass can be just so detrimental to getting your full and entire Zerg economy going, because you don't want to have that harass coming in. You don't want to be making spine crawlers or early roaches. You want to just drone, and we can see a whole slew of drones moving down to the third that's just popped. Even a macro hatch going down. Complexity's Yossi user going to be very, 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 what am I trying to say, happy with where he is. Simple words, it's hard to find.
Kappn moving out with the 2 zealots and a stalker, as he is, you know, good at doing.
Prone to do. I don't like this. I don't like the just 2 zealots and a stalker, because all he's going to have right now are Zerglings. If he's gone into roaches this fast, you know, he's either going to have a slew of Zerglings like he does now, in which case you need a lot more zealots, because then these 2 get surrounded, and the stalker gets away, and you lose 2 zealots. Or he's going to have a bunch of roaches, in which case he's like behind on his 3 base or not doing a 3 base at all.
Well, if goswser hadn't gotten the numbers of Zerglings that he, you know, likes to do, you know, against another Zerg that just maybe plays a little bit more greedy, that could actually take a few drones or even the third hatchery. The goswser just, he has that very defensive style very early on, and it's just so hard to break a Zerg that plays, you know, a macro defensive style.
Oh man, and goswser sees the 5 gateways here. He sees the robotics facility. He'll even see the immortal. No, he didn't quite see the immortal come out, but he probably knows.
Yep, a robotics bay and 5 gateways with a bunch of sentries at the front.
Yep, not difficult to see what's going on here.
And especially the no third base, that will really tip him off.
Yes. Now there are a fair number of minerals saved up for Kappn, and it looks like he could just you know, dump down another couple of gateways, although he does need to get those pylons going so that he can take supply block. But I mean, it's a clear read as to what exactly is going on. And up ventral sacks in 1 minute, expect overlord speed to happen as well.
goswser does love his roach Zergling baneling drops. And, you know, why not? If you got a wall at the front and force fields, well, I'll just go right over them.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't have a whole lot of stalkers. Oh, trying to go for that third, that is shut down. But yeah, I mean, you've got no stalkers to really counteract. You've got, for anti-air, what, the Sentry Tinkle Beam? Great force fields, though. Just needed 1 more to really lock that in. A 4th is going down for goswser, and it is out at that front, that 6 mineral, 1 rich Vespene Geyser. A very aggressive, but not so yielding.
Well, but it does spread creep around that left-hand corridor, or I guess the top corridor on the map. So it helps in that respect. It also gives you, you know, larva closer to the battle, so that you have a little bit of a faster reinforcement time in that respect as well. So it's, you know, it's not so much as an economic base as it is just an aggressive, you know, reinforcement base.
And now the overlords are moving out. Ventral Sax is finishing, and 24 banelings have just finished morphing.
Those banelings.
Oh man, this is going to be pretty. This is going to be so pretty. He's got this timing figured out. He's got banelings, roaches, and drop tech all ready to go at 12 minutes.
And here's the beauty of this. The sentries are going to have to force field around the army to keep the Zerglings out, but when they do, it's going to force field the sentries and zealots right in.
Yep, immediate splits going down. The banelings are being dropped all over the place. Some more force fields desperately trying to hold against this, but every single sentry, except for like 3 sentries or so. Nope, wait, yeah, 3 sentries. Now when the force fields have finished, he just loads them back up. He's loading up Zerglings and just dumping them over. 1 force field didn't quite get it. Oh, there's a fat roach that's preventing a lot of other Zerglings from getting through, but it doesn't matter. This is such an effective drop.
Yeah, force fields on the wall at the front. I'm just going to go right over.
Yeah. All right, time to go into the main. And I don't think he intentionally did it, but I do like, you know, maybe we can pretend that he did. He did not get his weak overlords to be the ones
Well, he's goswser user.
There's still one immortal out, but oh man, look at all those probes dying. 42 probes now to 62 drones.
And just the supply, 65 to 120. The overlords just fly right home.
Now, kind of a lack of control. I don't like this. goswser user getting a little sloppy in that he's had this army just kind of 1-8 down the ramp, and the force fields were more than able to stop it. But, you know, he could have easily turned around, taken out a few pylons, taken out warp gates. He did get one. Could have gotten robotics facility, could have gotten the Nexus. I wish he could have done more with that. However, you know, he's making 22 Zerglings, he has 19 Banelings, so that's going to bring him up to a total of 49 Zerglings, 19 Banelings in the field, and he's going to go wreck the third base.
Okay, he's got more overlords full of Banelings.
Actually, that's really good on him not to attack that. There are a lot more cannons than he expected there to be, and he's just going to have to work his way back around. But still, there are not enough Stalkers. These 4 Stalkers are not going to be enough, 5 Stalkers, excuse me, are not going to be enough to stop these Overlords. And it looks like, oh, he's going to lose a lot of sentries in these drops.
Good splitting, but just too many Banelings.
Yep. Oh, and he's going right for the mineral line. Oh, workers killed. Oh, a lot. 36. And he's got 2 more Banelings in one of the Overlords. Meanwhile, up at the front, Zerglings come in because, hey, you're going to make Stalkers? Oh, okay. No, just make Zerglings. Going to make Immortals? I'll still make Zerglings.
Yeah, few Zealots warp in, but not after, well, not before all of the other units are dead.
At this point, goswser user is dictating what Kappn is going to do. He's absolutely stating, okay, and now you're going to make Zealots to counter my Zerglings, and now you're going to make Roaches, or Stalkers to counter my Roaches. And we'll just go back and forth because I'm always a step ahead. I'm forcing you to counter what I have, and I'm dictating what's going to happen. Oh, and here it comes. Come on, this one Overlord. 2 Banelings, do it! Do it! Oh yeah, probes get 40 immediately. It's almost like a fake drop because he's not really dropping anything. And he's just stopping so much mining time. I mean, these guys can be pulled down to the 3rd.
But yeah, they're not mining while they're running away.
Yep. And he is going to get a little supply block, sacrificing a number of these Overlords. And there's a, look at goswser users, what it would be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th base, or 5th if you go south.
Just a queen with a bunch of Overlords there?
Yeah, is there like a, there's something going on we didn't know though? Roaches are forcing their way into the 3rd, busting down cannons left, right, and center. And like I said, he's dictating. He's like, now you have to go back to Immortal Sentry. But you don't have the production of the Immortals, nor do you have even the money for it. So you're going to have to go for Stalkers, but I have the economy. I'm sitting on 62, while you're only at 42 after I've carpet bombed you, so you've had to remake. Complexity's goswser user completely in control of this game. That's GG.
Yes, sir. Roaches. Roaches are pretty good.
Well, it was the drops first and foremost. It was like, okay, you know, I'm going to go over and around your force fields, and then I'm going to wipe out your sentries and force you to try to compensate against these Overlords. But then that's going to open up my lane for Speedlings to get in and wreck your base, and then I'm just going to do an all-out drop up into your main, back and forth and back and forth, and then from then on it's just, okay, do I want to make Speedlings or do I want to make Roaches? Because at this point you're just dead. Yeah,
there's really just nothing that can be done, especially once all those probes went down. You cripple the economy of a Protoss. It's really, really tough to come back, especially when you have no workers and the enemy's just barreling down your front. And Protoss units are just so expensive that it's just really tough to deal with, and you need to split up your resources into remaking those workers, and then also maintain your units, otherwise they're just going to steamroll your front door.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so goswser user takes game 1 of the losers bracket finals.
You're setting up now, colors are chosen, races are chosen, refs are being set. We are good to go.
Alright, just a quick reminder, the winner of this series goes on to face Sasquatch in the grand finals. And also the winner of this series goes on to the, the Continental Tournament, I guess we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
The, top 2 from each of the regions. We go into a 16-man tournament, play for a prize pool of $1,000. But that all comes up later. First, we have goswser in the top center of Metropolis, spawning as the purple Zerg, and Kappn, his opponent, the green Protoss at the bottom.
Cross spawns. This is, I've never seen Zergs cheese more than cross spawns Metropolis. And I don't even want to say cheese. We're at 9. We're going to see if he goes to 100, what's he selecting? He's selecting, okay, he's making overboard. Alright. I was going to say, because I've never seen, like, 10 pools come out more often than I have for cross spawns Metropolis.
Oh, we did see that 9 pool. That worked pretty well against, was it HTW?
Yeah, it was... no, wait, or was it Sasquatch? No, it was HTW. It was great control and then push farther ahead. In fact, wasn't it Sasquatch that did it?
It might have been.
Man, all these Zergs just getting spun around.
Yeah, we've had so many Zergs. Zerg versus Zerg, Zerg versus Zerg, Zerg versus Protoss.
Zerg versus Zerg versus Zerg versus Zerg.
Yeah.
Tis Yo Dog.
I heard you like Zerg. But here we go. Kappn got his forge down. Sending that probe back to mine. Did he send a probe to scout?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, look, you can see his vision as he went. He went close by, yeah, he went close by air.
Alright.
So yeah, like you said, forge went down. Probe is out. It might get a block. It might get a block. Yep, there's not going to be enough minerals here. So he just needs to start charging up those shields again. Don't get nicked. You got nicked. Don't get nicked. Don't. Good block. Oh, just barely. Oh, he knows right where to go for that. That is so annoying. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's just leaving his probe. He's got a pylon block. Oh, another. Sitting up to 460 minerals and then the pylon. It's just like, no. Shoot, go away. Oh, and double gas. Oh, man.
Alright, what does that mean for a Zerg?
It means, like, Baneling bust. One base muta. Something retarded is what it means. This means, yeah, this means something silly is coming up. And he's making more drones. He's continuing. He's got to put on the air of making enough. But look, he's got it rallied right over to getting up into the base for the Zerglings. I wonder if he just chose that, or if he selected that by the map. And he is expanding, but double gas? It's like super fast layer tech? I don't know. What is... We're going to have to see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Two base Infestor Zergling all in. He is getting speed right away. And we're going to have to wait and see if a Baneling nest comes down. Now, meanwhile, back at the Protoss base, everything is fine and dandy. Gateway's getting ready to finish. Probe is out. You know, it's just a block. In fact, I don't even think the probe completely blocks that. I think Zerglings could slip by, but having a grand old time, dropping the Cyber Core.
Yep, everything looking standard from the Protoss point of view right now. See if his first 100 gas go into that +1, and then his next 50 go into Warp Gate.
Super fast lair. What are you gonna do, goswser?
We're gonna see just... I wonder if we might see some Nidus play.
Oh, you know, I didn't even consider that. I bet that's... Yeah, look at where the Overlord is. He's got a perfect position on two fronts to drop a Nidus. That is exactly what he's doing. Good call. You're making me look bad. I'm supposed to be the guy in this.
Hey, just taking a shot. See where it goes.
Lair finishes. Yep, there's one drone pulled aside, and... Nidus.
Nidus.
Two base Nidus.
Only 16 drones.
What? Oh, man. 17. So he put down the second base purely for larva and for putting up the air in effect. There's a probe looking to drop a forward pylon, and if he goes, this is going to be like an 8-minute Nidus bust. He's going to have like 2 gateways, and he's got a Stargate, which actually might end up being exactly what he needs. But right now, there's 1 Zealot and 1 Sentry parked right at the front. There's nothing else.
Yeah, the gateway's not even producing.
Yep.
Warp gate's only halfway done.
And there's 1 Nidus immediately being made outside of vision, over on the right side of the main. Zerglings are running back as fast as they can. Oh, they didn't break the rocks, 142. I think he should have waited.
Here we go, Zerglings in the main.
Straight into the mineral line. They do get a lot off the gas. He does deposit everything. He does a full dump out of it. He needs to try to get... Well, he is going to get this Nexus.
Oh, Sentry needs to get away from that. That is not where he wants to be.
This is... And a Void Ray is coming out, but is it going to be enough? There is 1 cannon down low. There is another gateway being made. Oh, he's chronoing. He's like triple chronoing if it could be done for that warp gate. Both assimilators are down. Void Ray is going straight for the Nidus Worm. He doesn't even care about anything else. And a good force field. Oh, exactly what he needed. But oh, go for the pylon. Go for the pylon. Get the warp gates. There is a pylon that down.
I like that Void Ray going right for the Nidus Worm, try to cut off as many reinforcements as you can.
Oh, few Zerglings slid by. Go for that pylon. Go for the... What are you doing? There's no Nidus Worm there, Zerglings. What are you doing? Go. Shoot.
I think he's trying to buy time until the force field wears off and just try to burn the energy on the sentries, because if he can get down that ramp, he can really wreak some havoc.
But he's not going to be able to. He's just warping in more sentries. And he's keeping the Void Ray back, is one thing.
The Nidus pops up at just below the ramp.
Not sure why he did that. I guess just so he couldn't be killed without... He's actually going to force Kappn to break those rocks. Yeah.
You know what? He's making Hydralisks.
Oh, he's got Hydras getting ready to pop out, and those are going to shut down the Void Ray immediately. Void Ray's just going to go for the Nidus Worm. No big deal. But there's an Overlord that wasn't killed by the Void Ray. Void Ray's being kept by those Zerglings. God, I wish he'd just go for that pylon.
Well, he knows more than we do. So let's see where he decides to go. He's getting 3 more Hydralisks with group points. He did get down the ramp. He's got Zerglings in the mineral line.
Getting some probe kills, trying to get what he can. Only 4 workers killed thus far, and he's not going to get any more out of it. Maybe 1? No. Not even a single other. But those Hydras are going to be able to move very, very quickly between the 2 bases, between his opponents with Nidus Worms, between his own. I'd love to see a second network come up so that he can drop 2 Nidus Worms at once.
Well, Nidus Worms are expensive. They're 100 gas each. And making Hydralisk, he's really not going to have that much gas to spare. Let's see, we do have one that's about to finish.
Kind of an off area outside. And he is making yet another over in the main.
Kappn's just going for it.
Yep. He's just going to force the all-in. He knows his opponent can retreat with the Nidus Worm, so he's going to try to force him to do so, beat his army there, and get the GG. Second Nidus Worm is up in the main.
And goswser does not have enough minerals for a hatchery just yet, but if he can get a drone into that Nidus Worm and make a hatchery just kind of randomly on the map.
But you know who does have enough minerals for a base is Kappn.
Almost.
I guess no, at goswser's 30. He's dropping a Nexus. He's got 2 pylons there, so he won't be revealed, which forces goswser to look elsewhere. Oh, the Hydra's working their way pretty well with those Void Rays. Got 1 down at least, but now there's just a huge streaming. Yet he's drone pulled. He's forcing the base race, and I think that Kappn is going to be able to take a game off of goswser.
It's going to be close. Both of these armies are very slow, but the Nidus have there's pretty good mobility. I think if those Hydras do decide to come back to the base, well, they can't with the Nidus Hunter gone, but yeah, I don't know. I think those Hydras would be able to take this army. Especially with the drones and the Zerglings supporting.
Yep.
And we do literally have a base trade. goswser dropping a hatchery in the main of Kappn. Kappn dropping a Nexus at the 3rd of goswser.
But how many probes does Kappn have? 3, as opposed to the 20 drones. goswser is going to be able to hunt all day long and Kappn has to defend while he gets set back up. He does have a forge, which means he can get cannons going, which will definitely help. But
real expensive when you only have 3 workers.
Everything is expensive when you have 3 workers, and he actually can't make any more because of his army. He's supply blocked.
Oh,
because he's
more expensive.
Yep. So he's just having to pile on up. Do you like that he's being, if you're going to do something with anything, let it be the Void Rays. But I'd love for him to, now the creep can show everything. So I wish he would pull his army and move south and then work around and cut back into the third. Oh, and goswser doing exactly what a lesser Zerg would never do. Using that creep tumor, the extra creep tumor, to expand and spot as much as he can. He knows his opponent doesn't have robo. He just killed everything.
Yeah, just get that creep, get that vision. You can see, you can actually use it to scout with him.
Oh, and the Hydras are getting ready. Ooh, almost made it in those Void Rays.
Let's see, the army of Kappn is moving across the map now.
So their spawning pool is on the way. And if the Void Rays can bait the Hydras, and then we might get, I mean, that's a lot of Zealots, and honestly, Zealots do very, very well against Hydras, but also do well against Zerglings. There are no roaches, no beefy roaches to tank. You just have these fragile 80 health Hydras. But they are going to take pot shots to these roaches. Need to get away from that edge, especially those sentries who can put up Guardian Shields. Oh, good job taking out that Nidus Worm. And getting that Overlord. That's going to allow the army of Kappn to move up, and that isn't no good job on... I'm sorry. Yeah, good job on goswser, making sure that he's able to delay the ramp if possible. And he can't give away these Void Rays, and he's about to. Oh, these are dead. Oh, they're so dead. That's the power of Hydralisks.
Hydra's on creep.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Don't mess with that. Don't turn around. No, turn around, fight. You have Zealots. Oh, good force field. So you're getting a lot of those Hydras, but putting a lot more with their backs to the wall. However, there's just so much damage coming in, especially with those spine crawlers. That's going to be GG. Kappn can't come back from this. He's lost his Void Rays, got everything but 2 sentries. Yep, and that is it. And goswser does end up taking this game.
Alright, so goswser taking a 2-0 lead. Well, let's see what happens in the next game. Going up 2-0 in a best of 5. We may see some cheese out of goswser.
We may see some cheese out of Kappn.
There may just be cheese all over the place.
Well, I hope we can get somebody in here to QQ, because we sure could use some wine to go with all that cheese.
Exactly.
Haha, I made it funny.
Alright, goswser 1 game away from moving on to the grand finals and into that 16-man tournament coming up in the middle of August.
Kappn choosing his race, his color. The map of choice is Cloud Kingdom. Referees being assigned. And we are getting straight into this.
No reason to delay it. Players are ready.
Yep.
And the countdown has begun. Once again, a big shout out to our sponsors, Kingston HyperX and Amtech. Thank you guys for helping us put this tournament on. It's been a lot of fun casting.
Oh, and the tournament has actually been a long time in the making. We've been in discussion with the admin for a good while about it happening, but he was constantly talking about, getting sponsors and making it happen, and that's one of the big things. It's able to happen because of sponsorships. That there's nothing else to say about it. I mean, it's able to happen because of the players. It's able to happen because of the admins, the tournament organizers. But nobody can deny, especially at this level of esports, the need for sponsorships.
Yeah, the more money we can get pumping into the scene, the more tournaments like this get sprung up, the more players get noticed, and the more StarCraft really comes to the forefront of esports. It already kind of is, but just give it that little more push, a little more momentum. So we saw how quickly StarCraft 2 exploded. Well, it was when MLG decided to pick it up.
Oh yeah, and then on top of that, we now have CVSI. Did you know that MLG in their last in the Spring Championships had more viewers in the age of 18 to 22 than the Rose Bowl?
Really?
by like 2.5 times. It was just shy of the BCS championship.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, nobody can deny just how big this is getting.
It's really gaining momentum, and it's really, really interesting to be a part of this, as it's, really, I don't want to say it's in infancy anymore, but really, kind of adolescence, almost.
No, I would still say infancy, because, I mean, things are still getting so established. People are still talking about, what's the league to be in. It's not like NCAA, there's no question. NBA, NFL, NHL, there's no question. But, what's the league? Is it MOG? Is it NASL? And then, why this league as opposed to the GSL or IEM or IPL? There are a lot of leagues, there are a lot of tournaments, and then there are different levels. I mean, it's still finding its shape and where it wants to go and how it's going to get there. I would absolutely say it's in its infancy, but it's going to be a lot of fun. There's plenty to go still. Now, Kappn doing that signature pylon on the high ground, forge on the low ground, help with that wall off. Certainly different.
Kind of an idiosyncrasy to this map. There's not a lot of maps where you can do that, but this definitely being one of them, and it definitely makes that pylon a lot less vulnerable. Plus, you can warp in on the other side of the wall and you get that warp gate finished.
Yep. Meaning you can get that full walling going. But of course, goswser is not picking up the gas just yet, so he is happily going through mining. It's just to me it's fun to just see how fast can you get your minerals to like an unsustainable level. It's a great way to work on macro because you've got everything in the world flooding in, or all the minerals in the world flooding in, and then you're trying to keep up. You're really trying to push. You're getting more queens. You're getting more hatcheries. You're getting more drones off of that. It's so cyclical. It's so much fun.
And Zerg is an interesting race in that regard. It ramps up very, very quickly. But it's really an interesting little philosophy for that race.
Yeah. We do have the probe transfer heading down to the natural, and the 2 gases have finished. It is only 2 per gas, and there's something about this. I swear I've heard Artosis saying this. I should know. A number of Protoss players do it, especially in the GSL. Like I know Naniwa does it. Want to say the Puzzle might do it. I mean, there's something interesting about it, and it's indicative of a certain build. It's like maybe this pushes to the Century Immortal all in. I'm not sure, but a little forward pylon that was trying to be sneaky, not so sneaky. And I love that the Zerglings were probably going to be used to retain map control and look for any other forward pylon possibilities.
No, definitely, yeah. Only those 4 lings on the field right now. goswser just felt so comfortable right now. He's got, nothing coming across the map at him. So yeah, just drone. Get that economy going. Get that freight train that is Zerg rolling.
The 4 Zerglings are out on the field they are splitting up fair distances. A couple of them heading towards the watchtowers, and of course Zealot will gain 1 life real quick. The other 2 being active, trying to find what they can. Warp gate has started, +1 on the way, getting chronoed out, and robotics facility. I think we're going to see the Immortal Century all in, and I honestly think on this map it's extremely powerful.
Yeah, there are plenty of places where force fields just really narrow down a choke, make it to where your Immortals and your sentries and stalkers can really do a lot of damage.
Yep.
And keep those roaches, keep those Zerglings out of your face while your ranged units just go to town.
Or consequently, you can go Zealot heavy for your mineral dumps, since Century Immortal can be a big ass heavy. Use those Zealots and then force field, to push back half the roaches and then keep the other half back up against the wall, and just let your Zealots go to town. Never mind, your Immortals will all be wrecking face. So we do have here the gateways lining up, 1, 2, 3, total of 4. Oh, and a Twilight Council.
Oh, we could be seeing a Blink plus Ops.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. The Observer goes midway down, and this is going to get spotted by the Overlord moving in. I think he knows exactly what's going to happen.
What do you do when you're behind as Protoss?
When behind, Dark Shrine. All day, every day.
Exactly. So we're seeing a Warp Prism. What are we having? A 5-gate with Dark Templar.
Okay.
With an Observer. Okay.
With an Observer. So there's going to be the potential for Blink. We have the Ops moving in, and he's going to see, yes, this is a very macro-heavy Zerg. He's got 9 Zerglings out on the field, 66 drones. Protoss is showing no signs of going for a third.
And Ghost User has a good read on this. He already has an Overseer flying through the base. Sees nothing going on at the Twilight Council. No. Can he see the Forge? No, he can't see the Forge, but he knows something's up.
He, of course, has not seen the Dark Shrine. The Dark Shrine was placed behind the Natural well after the Overlord, now Overseer, had gone through. But he's just... Oh, Changeling!
The Changeling, did he was in vision of it, but I don't know if he clicked on it. I didn't see him click it.
Well, let's see. He's making... He's got 4 Spine Crawlers coming up. He's going to hide very, very quickly. He has the Pathogen Glands on the way, and here comes the drop from the Warp Prism. 3 Zealots come in. And
here come the Dark Templar.
Are morphed, while we even have Immortals being made behind this. So a nice big attack ready, and immediate morph for that Overseer. 2 of the Ds picked up, dropped into the third. Queen's going to town, focusing on that Warp Prism, trying to kill it desperately. And that Hive getting focused down, and it's not going to be able to get killed. The Zerglings are just being too busy killing everything themselves. Warp Prism is warping in a DT over the Natural, so that's going to be a bit of a pain. He is target firing drones.
Those DTs are very expensive. He needed to do a bit more damage with that, I think. He didn't snipe the lair. Didn't kill all that many drones, I don't believe.
Well, he's at 15.
So he did a pretty decent job. But at the same time, that's a huge investment to go for those Dark Templar.
Yes. And the Warp Prism going back into warping mode as the third is dropped. Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like then he wants to morph things up. So he actually warps in 1 too many things. He sets a Zealot there to look for a 4th. And then he's going to see this Overseer. He really needs to back out. Nope, he really needs to back out. Get that DT. Get those DT. Get it! Get it! Oh, barely picked him up. Sitting in yellow health with no shields.
And I like that Kappn is taking a third out behind this. He's got the map control. The Zerg is kind of playing on the back foot. So get that base up, get those cannons down, and just, you know, Ghost User's had his third for a long time, taking his 4th. You really need to catch up on base pretty quick as Kappn right now. And I like this Colossus transition.
There are a fair number of Spine Crawlers sitting at the third, getting ready to defend it. There is a 4th going down for Ghost User, and there's a Changeling marching all the way across the field because it was actually morphed in front of the Observer, so it took the Zealot shape. And it sounds like a few more Changelings are getting sniped off. You can hear that anywhere on the map. A few drones like mistakenly long-distance mining. But man...
Or a Transfuse.
Yeah.
Kind of strange you can hear Transfuse anywhere, but...
And there's another Changeling getting sniped out. Man, this is Immortal Sentry getting ready to push down. And he's going to be +3 on the way. He's going to be really set, especially now with the Colossus coming in.
Ghost User's already got his Greater Spire on the way. He's getting Corruptors out. We're pushing right into the late game at the 14-minute mark. This is getting kind of crazy.
Well, we're going to have Brute Lords on the way, but we're not going to have the big late-game Protoss. You know, sometimes you'll see Void Rays mixed in, or even recently Carriers. But we're not going to see the Mothership. We're not going to see the large Colossus count that Protoss love to have. We're not going to see, you know, massive amounts of the Charge Lot or the Archon or Storms. In fact, we have Blink being researched before Charge.
Well, Blink is what you really need, especially if... When does he have... Did he catch wind of the Greater Spire?
Let's see. No, he doesn't even know the Spire exists.
So it's just good game sense. Or maybe he's seen a Corruptor or something. Where did that Observer end up, or did it get killed?
Oh, man. Well, with the Corruptors coming in, they probably killed the Observer. But the Warp Prism actually did just get sniped, and now there are Overseers about the map. Yep,
and here's where Kappn knows there's something coming. He sees all those Corruptors, so let's, drop that Stargate.
Yep. Yep. Stargate's on the way, second Colossus coming out, and the supplies are fairly even, especially, you would expect, oh wow, pretty hard supply block for goswser user, who now is queued up 4 Overlords at once.
Yeah, he's refilling his supply on drones, rather than making a whole bunch of Broodlords, but he knows he's got a little bit of time. 6 more gateways on the way for Kappn now.
He's getting ready to just dump that massive macro that he wants into there.
Yeah, and there's the fleet beacon now.
Yay, bacon. It is 78 probes to 87 drones. Not as big of an economic advantage for Zerg as you might think.
Now Zerg... Oh, that's still a fair number of drones. 87 is pretty good.
It's a lot. It's just not... It's not like it's 87 to 60 or something.
Ah, yes.
We do have 5 Broodlords on the field. 4 more now morphing, 2 getting ready to finish, and 7 infestors. But there's no beef to this army. The Zerglings, I feel, could be ripped apart pretty easily in an engagement. We're going to have to see just where things go.
Well, we got the Mama ship coming.
Oh, she's coming out of the 3rd. And we do have +3 weapons is finished, +1 armor is on the way for our Protoss player. While +3 melee weapons and +3 carapace are both coming, so we've got double ups for our Zerg. Really like that he's doing that. And he's going for the armor one, because he knows the Broodlords, they already hit like trucks. There's no need to say that they don't.
Well, and he's got a 2nd Spire just finished, so he'll be able to get the double upgrades on the air as well.
And we're halfway done with Neural Parasite.
Yeah, the Neural Parasite is a good way to deal with that that vortex. If you can swipe the mothership and vortex the Protoss army rather than have it vortex all of your Broodlords, just wastes all that energy, or even fly it into your Corruptors. That's another way to deal with it.
A few missed force fields, not going to be able to trap that Zerg army, and Kappn is not letting a single changeling through. Now, goswser user could pick off a couple of free pylons up there if he wanted, but not going to be the case this time around. He is getting a Zealot here and a probe there. But I have a feeling Kappn he's got that death ball that Protoss loves so much. And after the Mama ship is coming out, she's getting ready. Here she comes, 10 seconds. Wow. 7 Archons? 8? 7. 7 Archons. That's a lot of Archons. Thankfully, there are a couple of Zealots. No, not quite blocking in. The Zerglings are able to slip by. They are going to get up into the main. They need to target down a tech structure immediately. Ignore the probes. Go for the fleet bacon. Delay your opponent all you can, and there's no immediate response. There they go. Finally, the Zealots moving up. They really need to research charge. A little bit of a slip, I think, that Kappn is making is that he could easily research charge, especially with the money he has. And now we have 2 maxed out armies.
Yeah, Archon's stuck in a choke with the Colossi, just shredding those Zerglings.
Oh, yeah. Huh. A couple of random cannons going to try to do what they can against these Zerglings. I like these little clusters of Zerglings that are just doing things here and there. Kappn, he's a little indecisive. He's like, well, I could go to your base and force you to defend, including with these lings, or I could go to your base and you could just end up saying, I don't care. I'm not sure. He does have the 3 Zealots, and he does have +2 armor needs to be getting researched. Kappn needs to quit microing, and he needs to put something in his production tab. Aside from the Observer.
Well, there's not much you can make when you're a 199 supply as a Protoss.
But so much could be researched right now. I mean, he could be getting charge. He could be getting +1 armor. He could be chopping another forge to start working on shields. In fact, there are a group of Zerglings that look like they're getting ready to counter up into the main, and he fully walls it off with a pylon. This is a very all-in section right now for him. And trying to get a fungal, getting a little bit of a missed fungal there. And there's a big fungal landing.
And that fungal great because it does also decloak those units.
Some more fungals getting ready to land. Oh, but there's the Neural Parasite, and yes, he does vortex half the army. Needs to throw in all of his Protoss army. Take everything else, throw it in there. Just be ready. Just be ready. And now posturing up, just waiting, counting down to that vortex ending. There the beast ball is going in, and immediately popping out. The big engagement begins. Stalkers blinking forward, trying to focus down any of the Broodlords that they can, but there's just not enough Stalkers. and immediately Kappn's supply drops to 158. Immortal's going down, Colossus going down, and not a whole lot of beef to the army. The Archons were actually some of the first to pull back. Oh, but it's this mothership. This mothership, there are no Corruptors. Oh, 2 Corruptors on the way out. There are 9 on the field. Where are they? They're not here.
So many Broodlords. Oh, we got Cloaked Broodlords.
Yeah, Cloaked Broodlords Infestors. That Neural can actually be chained a fair bit. It needs to be. There it goes. And now the Broodlords begin marching in, start doing all the damage they can. Man, all those probes, numbing probes getting transferred. No Fung was in sight for that though. Corruptors do manage to take down that mothership, and so another one cannot be produced just yet. Fleet Bacon wasn't destroyed. Now 3 DTs being warped in, and I'm not sure where. But the Corruptors are taken out. The Broodlords trying to get taken out, but trying to take out everything as well. That's what it's all going to come down to. Massive amount of Corruptors focusing down. That Colossus is dead. Needs to just go pure Archon at this point. But man, with 9 Broodlords, how do you respond? Some good force fields zoning out a lot of those Zerglings, preventing the Zerg army on the ground from moving down. But the Zerg army in the Zerg army in the air does not care.
Yeah, and with the loss of the Cybernetics Corps, Kappn can't work with any more Stalkers. It's just Zealots and Archons. It's about the only things he can make right now.
A huge Zerg swath is pushing through. Complexity's Ghost User might get ready to take this 3-0 and push into the finals. But he's going to have to answer to these 8 Archons first.
A few DTs moving around to the third base of Ghost User, but able to be taken out by those spine crawlers.
Oh man.
It's looking like a very uphill battle for Kappn from this point. Still a high supply, but I don't know if he can deal with all those Broodlords.
And the big problem going on is that these Archons are just getting stuck by all the Broodlings. So many, 15 Broodlords. Blink forward does happen now. Fungal is land. The Infestor is sitting behind, just waiting for something to move forward. But all those Broodlings, so many Broodlings. There's just too much.
They're just free units. And
not even costing energy.
+3/+3, they do, you know, a lot of nibble damage.
Yes, they damage for 7 every half a second. The Broodlords themselves are 2/2, so they're doing 24 damage a drop with 3 armor. Kappn knows that he is on the ropes, that this is it. And Ghost User knows that this is the final push. He just needs to crush everything here. Even Beach Ball is coming out. I wonder if he's trying to spell something with that. Some Fungal is landing down, some Broodlords still just pushing as far as it can be, and that is GG.
Ghost User fighting his way all the way through the lower bracket. Taking out a lot of players on his way to back to the grand finals.
Wow, he dropped down after Sasquatch in the second round. He took out Ravencraz, took out Future SC, took out SFYNX. Sphinx? Oh, derp. Didn't even think that one through. Took out HGW, clawed his way up from the beginning. And he's going to be facing Sasquatch. And we are going to go to a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen.